Well, hello there, Tankers of the Blitz universe. I am back, and we're going to be talking about the T-77 in today's video. Now, a lot of people think this is one of the most broken tanks in Tier 8 in terms of heavies, and in today's video, we'll be finding out if that is in fact the case. Now, this tank is currently available in the store for 8,500 gold if you just buy the tank itself right here in this bundle, or you can buy it combined with the Rampanzer for 13,000 gold, 13,500. But yeah, I'll be talking more about if that bundle, or if those bundles are actually worth it later on. But first, let's break into the tank's stats, and I'll start off with the gun here. The tank deals 380 damage on its standard shells, which if you times that by 2, it equals 760. So since this tank has 2 shells in its magazine, you're going to be doing a crap ton of damage if you're able to pen both your shells. The heat average damage is 320, and its HE damage is 440 on the alpha there. Tank has 10 degrees of gun depression, which is very nice, especially on maps with lots of hills. It means you can work most maps pretty effectively. In terms of the penetration, 232 on its APCR standard is okay. 281 on the heat is pretty solid, and 54 on the HE is kind of useless. The APCR standard ammo really annoys me. I wish this tank had AP for its standard ammo. Personally, for me, I hate tanks that have APCR standard. I just find the shell type is just really annoying to deal with, and sometimes it'll just bounce shells in certain places that just shouldn't bounce. Anyways, talking about the gun handling now. The aim time is 4.2 seconds, and the dispersion is 0.292. Now, I am using refined gun, so obviously the dispersion is going to be better than if you were using V-stabs. But overall, with this tank, its gun can be a little bit troll unless you fully aim in your shots. If you do fully aim them in, chances are you'll be able to hit both of them. Its DPM of 2,000 is pretty mid. But that's to be expected because this is a 2-shot auto-loading gun, and its magazine reload is very long, so you do have to be careful when you are on a clip reload. In terms of its mobility, it goes 35 forward and 18 in reverse, which actually is very surprising. The fact that an American tank goes 18 in reverse is very nice. Most of them go like 12, so that's good. And 35 forward is nothing special, but it's also not that terrible. Now, talking about the armor profile of this tank, it's not exactly very good. I would not call it reliable at all, and in the majority of situations, you're going to find people, even tier 8s, are going to be able to pen right through your turret even, but because of the weird angles that this tank has on its turret and some parts of its hull, it makes it a very annoying tank to deal with, and you're going to find you get a lot of random bounces that just shouldn't be bounces to begin with. And that's sort of the armor profile of it. It's kind of like a T-57, but at tier 8 in terms of its turret at least. And when you're using it hull down, like, yeah, the turret armor is going to be stronger, obviously, but it's still nothing crazy. Like, if you load heat against this tank, chances are you're going to be able to pen it. Now, against tier 7s, the armor profile is very strong. Yeah, they're gonna have a big issue trying to deal with you. But tier 8s and tier 9s are not going to have as much of a problem. So just be careful, stick with your team, and don't rely on your armor at all. Like, just, yes, you'll get the troll bounce every once in a while, but just make sure you are playing it safe. So, seeing as my team is just, like, not over here, I'm not going to cross this. I get bled out by a couple of tanks there, and there's the Tiger right there. Does try and shoot at me. Oh boy, there's the ISU, and there's what I mean. Yeah, that should have not bounced my vehicle, but, you know, the armor profile is troll, so it is what it is. I have absolutely no idea what my team's doing right now. This is probably one of the worst teams I have seen in a long time. I don't know why everyone's camping in spawn, but chances are this is going to be a loss for me, because, like, what am I supposed to do? So I'm literally just going to sit in this position here, because I can't move up anymore, and I can't even, I'm not even going to bother poking, because their whole team is sitting right in front of this rock here. So I'll just wait until they poke this corner here, and maybe I can get a shell into the Tiger too. But for right now, I just need my team to sort of support me when these players like the AMX like try to YOLO. So yeah, we'll see if this AMX pokes, but I am not going to be the one to make the first move, because especially when I get on a clip reload, it's not going to be very fun. Yeah, so AMX is not looking at me. And actually, their ISU is also not looking at me over there anyways, so I might as well just take a shot or two from this AMX. We only take one from him, so that was a W trade from us. And he can't really poke me unless he wants to get bled out by like 3 tanks. So honestly, this is looking okay, and their ISU is now dead, so that's good. But yeah, that was a lucky bounce from the ISU. Like, again, the armor profile on this tank normally will not be doing that, so just gonna point that out now. But I mean, you can see, like, dishing out 760 damage in 2 shots is pretty stupid, and it's really what makes this tank super good, is just that clip damage. But again, when you're on a long clip reload, you have to be super careful, because right now, I am insanely vulnerable. If that AMX wanted to YOLO around the corner and clip me, he could do so for absolutely free. And the only thing that's stopping him is my teammates off to my side here. So let's finish him off here. There we go. There's 4 tanks left on both teams. So in that case, I'm not going to just hold 1 shell. I'm going to press my clip reload button to make sure I have both of my shells loaded. That's something you want to do in your autoloaders. If you don't have a shell, what's the point of keeping it in your gun when you could just take that time to reload another shell, and then you have twice the damage output? So that's something you guys should be doing. I see a lot of players just holding their last shell for no reason in their clippers, and it's really, really bad, because chances are you're going to be in a situation where you needed to have extra shells, and if you only have 1 shell left, it's not going to help you at all. So that VK is looking at me, so I'm just going to sit behind this rock. I don't really want to get bled out by him. And if he gets, if his attention gets taken by another person, then I will be fine to poke it. But until then, I am not poking it. So, you know what? Actually, I'll hold this corner here. It seems like our defender's shooting at him. There we go. Okay. He did shoot. Oh, hello. I wanted to shoot at that HWK, but my accuracy is not good enough to snapshot in this tank. So I'm just going to be playing it safe. I'll help out our Death Star because he's getting circled like crazy by this T-54, sorry. We're at 3,000 damage, but this is not looking so good anymore. That guy was actually able to get a shot into me because I overpoked, and I didn't have the reverse speed to get back. And now he's going to YOLO me because he, of course, knows that I am on a reload. So in 2 seconds here, I should be able to get the kill into him. I do kill him, but the T-77 on the enemy team does finish me off. Very unfortunate stuff right there. This defender, oh my god, he got a lucky bounce. Come on, bro, aim. Nice. You know, if this guy wins the battle, imagine. And unfortunately, our defender does die. So we don't win our first battle. We did try our best, and we did pull off an over 3,000 damage game. So, I mean, I'll take it, but that was just so unfortunate. So, game number 1 didn't go too crazy well for our team. But, I mean, you could see the power of having the double shot ability in this tank. Like, just being able to clip people out for that much damage is kind of insane. And it's a big scare factor. And this tank is really good at making people nervous about poking it. Like, I find people either don't realize you have 2 shells and they'll poke you. You can track them and then shoot them twice. And they're like, well, why'd you have 2 shells? Or they know you have 2 shells and they just don't want to poke you at all, which is usually the option that happens in battles. So I don't know. I really like this tank. I personally don't think it's broken. I know a lot of people say this tank is super broken, like, oh my god, dealing that much damage in such a short amount of time is crazy OP. But honestly, this tank can be ripped apart really quickly if you put it into the wrong situation. And I find because of that super long clip reload, like I was talking about all last game, it kind of balances out the fact that you do 760 damage in 2.5 seconds. Honestly, like, yeah, if you're able to get out both shells and then back into cover without taking damage in return, it's just super, super strong. But I do think that this tank is not necessarily broken. I do think it's very, very strong, if not slightly overpowered, but I don't think it's broken. I don't think it's game-breaking, and I don't think driving this tank will, like, win you a 1v4 in most situations, just because you don't have the DPM and overall armor profile to deal with that. So, yeah, it's super strong, but not broken in my personal opinion. So, we're on Black Goldville for game number 2 here, and we are against tier 9s, so that's going to be a good showcase of what this tank can do against tier 9 opponents. Unfortunately, we aren't able to pen the Foch as he's at such a steep angle there. But we do get one shell into his side, so that's good. The tank having APCR as its standard shells is also a big issue. I hate APCR standard, and you'll just find you bounce way too many shots on random pieces of armor that just shouldn't be getting bounces when you're shooting at your enemies. So I'd much rather have this tank have AP standard, but like, oh well, it is what it is. At least it has heat shells for its premium rounds, so that's good. But yeah, we get 2 shells there into the E50. He looks like he's going to be poking it again, but I'm not too worried about him at the moment. I'm more worried about the tanks that are kind of camping at Seaside. But you know what? I might be able to get aggressive up here, and I might be able to poke and deal with this Foch here if he keeps sitting in mid. Ooh, they have a defender there, though. That's a little bit of a problem. Full health defender Mark 1, not very fun to deal with. But I don't really care because I do see the rear of this Foch here. And let's get 1 shell into him. Let's get 2 shells into him. And I've only taken 2 shots of damage from that defender. So, I mean, I'll take that trade. That was a W trade. And I do see the E50 rolling off to my right-hand side here, so I'm not too worried about that defender anymore. I'm going to focus on this E50. And he is a one-shot now, so, I mean, whatever. Bro, like, what are you doing, bro? Goodbye. Okay. Now with that guy out of the way, it's basically just the defender that's the problem. The RU is at, like, negative health right now, so I'm not worried about him at all. And you know what? I'll just reload my clip. Like, I'm not going to do any more damage this game. This was pretty much a steamroll. Yeah, there wasn't really much else to say about this battle. Like, we sort of just took over mid, and then their team pushed into the center here, which is an awful idea, and they just got surrounded by our whole team. So, very fast battle. Oh my god, the yo in the chat. Yeah. We do actually pick up the kill on that guy. That's cool. So another 160-ish damage. So we don't do terrible this game. Definitely not as much of a farm as the first game, but for how quick the battle was, we were still able to get out a decent amount of damage. And I mean, you can see against tier 9s, the tank still does okay. I mean, they didn't exactly have the craziest tier 9s. They had an E50 who didn't really know what he was doing. And then they had a Foch. So, I mean, not exactly scary tier 9s to go up against. But, yeah, let's get into game number 3 here, and we do get ourselves on Ghost Factory here, and we are facing up against tier 8s and tier 7s once again, so hopefully we can get out some good damage for our third and final battle. Yeah, so final thoughts on this tank. Is it worth the price? Now, I'm going to say this right now. Don't get the bundle that's 13,000 gold. The Rompanzer, it's an okay medium at tier 8, but it's not worth spending the extra gold to get that tank. If you just want the T-77, then get the tank for 8,500 gold, or however much it is in the store. I believe it's 8,500. The price for this tank is actually pretty reasonable because it is a very strong tier 8 tank. Again, I don't think it's broken, but I do think it's pretty strong, if not slightly overpowered. So 8,500 gold for this tank, especially one that's this good. And it's pretty easy to play, too. Like, I think the majority of people can pick up this tank's playstyle fairly easily and fairly quickly. So, yeah, I think 8,500 gold for this tank is a reasonable price, but I do not recommend buying the bundle with both of the tanks. Just save the rest of your gold for some other tank that comes out later. So, yeah, that's my take on it. And, yeah, so if you do want this tank, then pick up the bundle with it by itself. See what we can do here. We can punish this BZ who's just like overpoked crazy hard, and boom, there we go. 792 damage into his vehicle, and he's already at 70 health. Wow. I don't know what to tell. That guy was not doing very great. Yeah, oh well. Free kill for our team. Anyways, let's push on over to the T-34 on the side here. This guy I'm kind of worried about because he just has so much pen. My armor is going to be completely useless, and there's no real shot of getting troll bounces from a tank like that. So we'll see what we can do. Okay. T-34 has such troll side armor when he's at an angle like that, so at least we get 1 shell into him. I think we actually out-traded him as well, which is pretty funny. He's going to YOLO me, which is very weird. I don't know why he's doing that, but let's put ourselves in this position here, so then he can't really see my tank. I technically could side scrape, actually. Let's see if I can track him there. Oh my god. Tracked him, but didn't do any damage. He is able to pen me through the side, or the side of the turret there, because the T-34 has crazy pen, but oh well. Our T-34 should be able to finish him off in just a second here. Bro, let's go. Attack, dude. He's on literally 300 health. Are you going to push him? Thank you, bro. Holy cow. Players who just don't like using their HP when they have tons of it, yeah, they're just annoying, but whatever. Anyways, let's see if we can get a shell into this AT here. Get one into his side there, and I'm actually going to shoot the Panther instead, just to get out some more damage, and because my team is going to lose this regardless of what I do, so I might as well try and farm out some damage if I can. At this point, actually, yeah, it's going to be a loss. There's no way we win this game. Although, I could technically one-clip a lot of their tanks here, so I'm still a threat to them. But, yeah, they still have full health Tornbong. Oh, boy. Yeah, so it's over. It's over. There's not anything I can do against that guy. Like, he has less DPM than me, sure, but he's still full health. So, what else am I supposed to do? Let's, kill this guy here, and let's see if I can get a shell into the Panther. There we go. But at this point, it's me versus 3 players. And, wow, these teams have been pretty unfortunate today. I mean, luckily the Rompanzer, like, low rolls us, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to see if I can get, like, another shell out, but probably not. Let's see here. Oh, Panther bounces me. There's 1 and 2. Okay, well, that one bounces, but we get 1 more out, so we dealt over 3,000 damage. I mean, we did our job. Again, our team just kind of fell apart, but, oh well. At the end of the day, the tank is still very good, and you can see, even with a bad team, if you put yourself in the right spot to do damage, you can farm a crap ton out. So, that's the T-77. In my opinion, it's a fantastic vehicle. I don't think it's broken, though. I don't think it's game-breaking at all. Honestly, I wouldn't care if Wargaming just didn't touch this tank. If they left it the way it was, I think it's in an okay spot. Wow, I can't speak right now. But anyways, for any of you out there who are not yet subscribed to my channel, I highly recommend you do so, as it's a fantastic way to support content like this and more, and stay up to date when I post videos almost every day, kind of, sometimes. And with that, I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.